because I'm live. Gotta do my hair. Put all the parts back in place. Oh, I guess I have to put the microphone. You didn't tell me how to do this microphone. Okay, good. So I guess I need to do my microphone. Okay, do my microphone. I guess I don't know if I do a check. Oh, looks like good because I see a VU meter. So maybe it's working. All right, the wife is here. All right, good. So I'm gonna see this. Okay, here it is. All right, well, let me see. I am gonna do my exercise too. It would be a little louder. I don't really care. Let's see. So I go boom. Okay, I gotta be careful. And then I go boom. And it's going. Let's see. It's supposed to move. It's supposed to go. Mm, let me see. Is it going? Let me see. Time. It's supposed to go. Okay, here it is. Let me see. 3, 2, 1. All right, there it goes. Okay, now I'm going. Ah, I'm going. But I have my little clip so that if I fall, I can it'll come apart, it'll stop. That was like one of the things. All right, well, I just wanted to say hello to everybody. And my husband, the cat, is working on building housing for my future, well, for my mother-in-law. That's what we're really hoping, is that she comes down off of her mountain, lives fossil fuel free with us, no driving, no flying, um, and living together so we can help each other to eat well and live without plastic because we're making stuff. We become makers, and how we can help each other. And that was when Marshall and Sarah lived here. It was really nice when people live together and help each other. So I guess that's like what we have to do with our community too, is that we have to spend time together. I mean, I remember my girlfriend that I met in the YMCA. She was saying, like in Georgia, what's the name of her city? Louisville, Kentucky. It was Louisville, Kentucky. That's how they entertained themselves with their neighbors. They had food together and that type of thing. So it's like, when Catamount or Cougar W says we have to build a village, and also Rupert Reed says we must build a village. I'm seeing my VU meter, so that's good. I could put it closer to me. All right, good. So anyway, yeah, and so we need to build a village. And so I've been just working on thinking about how to do that. And my son, Marshall Woodman C., was going to run for city council for District 3 in San Jose. And I told him, oh, good, I'm so happy. I can go out to your neighbors and tell them we need to live fossil fuel free and make San Jose a food garden again, one neighborhood at a time, one block at a time, one neighborhood block at a time. And then I was like thinking that it's like, like, I don't know, something about, that, well, we can't do it alone. We can't survive alone. And what does Rupert Reed, the British philosopher, say? That he says the same thing, that it's the future is hyperlocal. His video or his book he wrote was called This Civilization is Done. This civilization is done. So, okay, so like what's the expression that we've been using? It's like collapse early, beat the rush. Collapse early, beat the rush. And so we have to collapse early, and that's the great simplification. And we've got to do it, because it's coming. And what is Extinction Rebellion? Their request was, one, tell the truth. All right, good. So that's what we have to do, is tell the truth. All right, good. So then I have to go speak to my neighbors and tell the truth. And what was the truth? The most recent truth was about the beautiful common Muir, Murre, Muir. It's Muir. It's common Muir. A big, gorgeous uh, seabird, and many of them died. And it was a great die off. It was the largest extinction of one species, not extinction, but mortality of one species that we've ever experienced. It was 4 million of them died, and they really haven't returned. They haven't really come back. It was in 2015 that there was the blob in the Pacific Ocean, still there most probably, and it's not like a heat wave. Now we just having boiling oceans, and so anyway, I guess I'm on 2 calories. Oh, time is 4:18. I said I was going to do it for 20 minutes. Each of my um, exercise machines. I definitely have to exercise more. My diastolic is too high, and they say you got to exercise more. Okay, good. So I'm exercising and talking to you. Okay, good. So anyway, back to my son Marshall. So I was talking to Marshall. I ran into him because I stopped talking to my kids, and because they're not listening to me, and they're burning fossil fuels. And so I haven't been calling them. My daughter hasn't been calling me. And I ran into my son, and we talked about him and his girlfriend getting an electric car. So okay, he agreed on that. He doesn't really need a car, but trying to get the girlfriend to do it. And so he agreed on it. I said, okay, well then come over for Christmas. But then it was like, I know that they didn't have an electric car, and all they had was a gas guzzling car. And when I was talking to them about coming over, I said, "Take the bus, Gus. Don't forget to take the bus, Gus." And I sent him all the schedules of the bus. I mean, he's like, it's a 5-minute bus ride between the two of our homes. 5 minutes, and then there's a nice little walk. I think it's like 2 blocks from their home. San Fernando to Santa Clara is 1 block, and then 4th to 2nd is 2 or 3 blocks downtown. And they were together, and wasn't like she was going to be alone on the bus, and people would be attacking her or whatever her fears are about the public transit. And so the three of them, and he was bringing his friend over, Sam, who was here for the holidays. And so I invited him over, and I gave him the bus schedule, and then it leaves them 1 block from our house, 1 block. And so, well, I just, and it's like a 5-minute ride, and I guess it costs $2.50. That's the problem. Well, I think Marshall has a bus pass for lower, but it's like $2.50 a ride, which is too bad. But whatever, $2.50 is not that bad. And whatever, we have to pay. And we've got to pay for what's going on. And so the good news was that New York, Hochul, the governor, Hochul, she passed a bill saying that the oil and gas and coal industry would pay, and they're looking about like $2 billion a year or something, each one of them. And for the damage that the climate, that the fossil fuels cause in our communities in New York City. She's the governor of New York. She's the governor. So it's the whole state. Oh, good. It's the whole state. I mean, they've been having such trouble with, I got to pick up my legs so I don't hear that sound. So that's good. And, yeah. And, the whole state of New York, like, Buffalo with its 25 feet of snow and all the problems they've been having with the global heating. And what global heating does cause more, what's it called? Well, snow, but it's really precipitation because of the boiling oceans and the boiling water seas. And then that hits the cold front that's coming down more because um, the Arctic air is coming down because the jet stream is wavering, because the differential between the Arctic and the mid latitudes is not as great anymore. And it was that great difference between the cold, very cold of the Arctic, and the Arctic isn't that cold. It's so that was getting back to the birds. It was like the oceans are dying, and that's what's happening is that these birds, these common murre, M-U-R-R-E, which are large seabirds, they're large, they're like penguins, they look like penguins. They're so gorgeous. And, but they fly, which penguins don't. Oh, and the best flights that they have is in the oceans. They can go down, 350 feet. They would be able to fly down 350 feet to get food. But they died. They're all dying because there isn't any food in the oceans because of the heat. The food chain is breaking down. And the birds, what Catamount said or Cougar W said was it's the common murre is a canary in the gold mine, canary in the coal mine. Right. And so, you know, we've had so many canaries, we're losing everything. And so they were going down, they could go down 350 feet into the ocean to get, so that doesn't mean they were just getting little fish at the top. They were able to go 350 feet and they could stay underwater for 3 minutes. It's a long time. And so that's how powerful they were. And yet they couldn't find the food. And they died. They died of starvation. That's what they said. They died of starvation. And they're not coming back. That's the thing. They said, well, if there's a little bit of families left, little less of them, then there should be more food for those. And then they should come back. But they're not. They're not coming back. And this was 10 years later. And they're not coming back. And so it was in the news again. And yeah. So that's the common murre. They're going extinct. And let's see what else. So anyway, back to Marshall and Sarah and Sam. So I said when they came over, how did you get over here? Oh, we drove. And I said, Marshall, it just reminded me of all the times when he was growing up that he would do that. Like he'd tell me, oh, I'm flying to Florida with some girlfriend and then, different things. So, it was the same thing. And I said, well, is Sarah influencing you, his girlfriend? Because Marshall was raised by us and it was like, we didn't drive and we didn't fly. And he was a hero because of it at his school when he was in high school. We homeschooled him until 9th grade. But when he went to high school, Lincoln High School, he was a hero because I wouldn't let him. He was in what was that sport? Some sport he was in. And, I would make him take the bus to the sport. And he was a hero. So what was it? Water polo. He was water polo. And when he, so anyway, but so he said, no, Mom, I decided I wanted to drive because it was easier. And so it was like, kind of felt bad because I realized they had come over to help too, to do my garden. But I was just too upset over it. And that was it. I stopped talking to him. I said, okay, come over because you're going to buy an electric car. But we know that the electric car is not the solution. And we should be taking the mass transit. And the mass transit for 5 minutes, if people are worried about COVID or whatever, I take the mass transit. And I'm worried about COVID, but I wear my mask. And, I haven't had any problems, thank goodness. But, I try to take it as little as possible, but I do it, And it is nice that it's only $1 for seniors. That's nice. But, and you get 2 hours free. Oh, you get 2 hours free. That's true. And then you could go back on the same pass if you only spend 2 hours. So anyway, it should be free. So anyway, Hochul is getting lots of money from, all right, 12 minutes. So 8 more minutes. I get to talk to you. Hochul is getting money. And so that's good. Even they said, it's going to cost people more money for their utilities and everything. Well, it needs to cost more money. So anyway, getting back to building a village and Rupert Reed, the philosopher from the UK, one of the founders of Extinction Rebellion, I think he is, well, something like that. But he's actually living in Indonesia, farming in his, so it was like, okay, so what do I tell my neighbors? I have to knock on their door. So it was like I was thinking how fun it would be, if I was, helping Marshall run for city council. I have a reason to knock on people's doors, but it's like, okay, then it was like the 3 points of Extinction Rebellion are: 1 is tell the truth, 2 is the UK, I guess, is to be carbon neutral or net zero by 2025. So here we are, 2025, net zero. Okay. And that's what we have to be. I mean, we are definitely over the edge. We're going to, what does Cougar W say? Well, it's the science is saying we use 57.4 gigatons. That's a billion tons of CO2 equivalents. That's everything, methane and everything, CO2 equivalents every year, 57.2 gigatons. And that's where we're at. We used to be at 40. Now we're at 57. So yeah, so it's going up, and we're going towards 10 degrees C, as James Hansen, the climate scientist, says. So all right, I've got 6 more minutes. Good. So anyway, it's nice talking to you, and I'm walking, and so that's good. So I'm gonna do more exercise. I have to go out, and I'm just telling you how I'm going to build the village. So this is my story. How I'm going to build my village. So I will keep data with you of that, and that's what we have to do. But I say, and I said, okay, number 1 was tell the truth. 2, that we're in a climate emergency. That's the truth. 2 was to be fossil fuel free by 2025. Okay, that's that one. Okay, and then the third one is citizens assembly, that the citizens assembly would be guiding the government. Oh, I like that. So I said, okay, then I could go knock on my neighbor's doors and say, I'm a member of the citizens assembly, and I just wanted to invite you to my village. I know I'm working on my spiel, my talk of how I'd say it. It's nerve-wracking how to do it, but it was like, even what was it? Everybody's saying build community. We have a loneliness epidemic. All right, so I say, hi, I'm your neighbor. And the thing is that they're fossil fuel free. They can come to my house without fossil fuels, which I love. And so then what's the other thing? So that's the good thing about your neighbors. And that's the same thing with Louisville, Kentucky. The neighbors entertain each other. So it's like I was trying to think about, like, okay, tell them to bring a salad, and then Kat and I would make something else. Well, we could make some beans and rice or something like that. So it's not hard to do that. Okay, good. And they make the salad. That sounds good. So have a potluck with them and have them come over. We have a little space that we built outside because that's where we entertain people, not in our home since COVID. And so we made this little gazebo, and Cougar W put some curtains around it, and so it makes it nice and secure in there. And we have outside heating elements, all electric on our solar, mostly solar, and our PG&E is renewable. We're signed, City of San Jose has renewable energy. Isn't that nice? That is so great. That's the reason to live in San Jose. So how, we can help each other to be fossil fuel free and talking to our neighbors. So that's it. And growing food. That's the thing we have to do, is grow food. So, and I can't grow enough food to support myself. So we all have to do that. And so we can have our farmers market locally here without fossil fuels. And, that it just would be a really neat thing if we could do that. There's the mess behind me. I have to clean up my studio here. Anyway, and so we did do that. I guess I could start doing that, which is bringing stuff out for Cougar W to take up to our attic, because we put in a really nice ladder, and now all that stuff that's behind me go up in my attic. That would be cool. That's so cool. Anyway, good. And he's going to put, that's the thing he wanted to do, but he's putting up lights. But what we're trying to do is get ready any fossil fuels that we use, because we don't drive anywhere, but we do have a truck that is fossil fuel based because, well, we have it, and we're building a basement to create more space underground. So using all parts of the buffalo, but mostly it's creating housing for my mother-in-law to get her off that hill. And she had a big accident where she blacked out, and so she needs to stop driving. She's up in the mountains, and she did say that she would come on her birthday, October 25th or 28th. I think it's her birthday, 1941. She's 80. She'll be 84 in 2025. So that's our goal, is to get her to live with us. So I'm really excited about that. Makes me happy to have family around that we don't have to fly or drive to go see. That's the way we all need to be. And the only fossil fuels that we should be using are for that effort of building housing so that more of us can live, live multi-generational. We need to live multi-generational and help each other to survive. And so then I got to talk to my neighbors about helping me to survive and me helping them to survive. Yeah, so I guess that's the story. And it's like why don't we? My neighborhood is called the Garden Alameda. So let's be truly the garden of Earth's delight. San Jose is San Jose is the, what do I call it? The Silicon Valley is the garden of Earth's delight. Anyway, I think it's called the Garden of Earth's Delight or something like that. We were the Garden of Earth's Delight. Earth's Delight. We're the Garden of Earth's Delight because we are the riverbed. We've got the greatest soil. And wouldn't it be neat if the Garden Alameda, just one neighborhood, 3 blocks or something, that we could support ourselves with food? Wow, wouldn't that be an amazing effort that we would do? That would be all of our food. I don't know. I mean, I would be just so amazed, but it would be such a great challenge and something to do together. That's what we have to do. Isn't that what Pope Francis said in honor of Christmas? He said, he said this many years ago in his encyclicals that we need to be, that polluting is a sin. I love that one. That was from his Laudato Si, let it be, or something, whatever. Laudato Si was the name of it in Latin. Oh, I did it. Okay. I love you. See you tomorrow. Ah. Oh, there's that. I got to do that. Stop that. I did it. And I have to stop you. I stopped. 20 minutes. End the stream.